Ankh Uja Seneb Hotepu. This is Shakim Ra Allah. And today we are going to be doing Asmar for the Emerald Tablets of Thoth the Atlantean. We will begin with tablet number 1, which is the history of Atlantis. I, Thoth the Atlantean, master of mysteries, keeper of records, mighty king, magician, living from generation to generation, being about to pass into the halls of Amenti, set down for the guidance of those that are to come after these records of the mighty wisdom of great Atlantis. In the great city of Kior, on the island of Undal, in a time far past, I began this incarnation, not as the little men of the present age did, the mighty ones of Atlantis, live and die, but rather from aeon to aeon did they renew their life in the halls of Amenti, where the river of life flows eternally onward. 100 times 10 have I descended the dark way that led into light, and as many times have I ascended from the darkness into the light, my strength and power renewed. Now for a time I descend, and the men of Kim shall know me no more. But in a time yet unborn will I rise again, mighty and potent, requiring an accounting of those left behind me. Then beware, O men of Kim, if you have falsely betrayed my teaching, for I shall cast you down from your high estate into the darkness of the caves from whence he came. Betray not my secrets to the men of the north or the men of the south, lest my curse fall upon ye. Remember and heed my words, for surely will I return again and require of thee that which you guard. Even from beyond time and from beyond death will I return, rewarding or punishing as you have required your trust. Great were my people in the ancient days, great beyond the conception of the little people now around me, knowing the wisdom of old, seeking far within the heart of infinity, knowledge that belonged to earth's youth. Wise were we with the wisdom of the children of light who dwelt among us. Strong were we with the power drawn from the eternal fire. And of all these, greatest among the children of men was my father thought me, keeper of the great temple, link between the children of light who dwelt within the temple and the races of men who inhabited the 10 islands. Mouthpiece after the three of the dweller of Unal, speaking to the kings with the voice that must be obeyed. Grew I there from a child into manhood, being taught by my father the elder mysteries, until in time there grew within the fire of wisdom, until it burst into a consuming flame. Naught desired I but the attainment of wisdom, until on a great day the command came from the dweller of the temple, that I be brought before him. Few there were among the children of men who had looked upon that mighty face and lived, for not as the sons of men are the children of light when they are not incarnate in a physical body. Chosen was I from the sons of men, taught by the dweller, so that his purposes might be fulfilled, purposes yet unborn in the womb of time. Long ages I dwelt in the temple, learning ever and yet ever more wisdom, until I too approached the light emitted from the great fire. Taught me he the path to Amenti, the underworld where the great king sits upon his throne of might. Deep I bowed in homage before the lords of life and the lords of death, receiving as my gift the key of life. Free was I of the halls of Amenti, bound not by death to the circle of life. Far to the stars I journeyed until space and time became as naught. Then, having drunk deep of the cup of wisdom, I looked into the hearts of men, and there found I greater mysteries, and was glad. For only in the search for truth could my soul be stilled, and the flame within be quenched. Down through the ages I lived, seeing those around me taste of the cup of death, and return again in the light of life. Gradually, from the kingdoms of Atlantis, passed waves of consciousness that had been one with me, only to be replaced by spawn of a lower star. In obedience to the law, the word of the master grew into flower, downward into the darkness, turned the thoughts of the Atlanteans, until at last in his wrath arose from his Aguanti, the dweller, speaking the word, calling the power. Deep in earth's heart, the sons of Amenti heard, and hearing, directing the changing of the flower of fire that burns eternally, changing and shifting, using the logos until that great fire changed its direction. Over the world then broke the great waters, drowning and sinking, changing earth's balance, until only the temple of light was left, standing on the great mountain on Undal, still rising out of the water. Some there were who were living, saved from the rush of the fountains. Called to me, then the master, saying, Gather ye together, my people, take them by the arts ye have learned afar across the waters, until ye reach the land of the hairy barbarians, dwelling in the caves of the desert. Follow there the plan that ye know of. Gathered I then my people, and entered the great ship of the master. Upward we rose into the morning. Dark beneath us lay the temple. Suddenly over it rose the waters, vanished from earth until the time appointed was the great temple. Fast we fled toward the sun of the morning, until beneath us lay the land of the children of Kim. Raging, they came with cudgels and spears, lifted in anger, seeking to slay and utterly destroy the sons of Atlantis. Then raised I my staff and directed a ray of vibration, striking them still in their tracks as fragments of stone of the mountain. Then spoke I to them in words calm and peaceful, telling them of the might of Atlantis, saying, we were children of the sun and its messengers. Cowed I them by my display of magic and science, until at my feet they groveled when I released them. Long dwelt we in the land of Kim, long and yet long again, until, obeying the commands of the Master, who, while sleeping, yet lives eternally, I sent from me the sons of Atlantis, sent them in many directions, that from the womb of time, wisdom might rise again in her children. Long dwelt I in the land of Kim, doing great works by the wisdom within me. Upward grew into the light of knowledge the children of Kim, watered by the rains of my wisdom. Blasted I then a path to Amenti, so that I might retain my powers, living from age to age, a son of Atlantis, keeping the wisdom, preserving the records. Great grew the sons of Kim, conquering the people around them, growing slowly upwards in soul force. Now, for a time, I go from among them into the dark halls of Amenti, deep in the halls of the earth, before the lords of the powers, face to face, once again, with the dweller. Raised I high over the entrance a doorway, a gateway, leading down to Amenti. Few there would be with courage to dare it, few past the portal to dark Amenti. Raised over the passage, I, a mighty pyramid, using the power that overcomes earth force. Deep and yet deeper, place I a force or a chamber. From it carved I a circular passage, reaching almost to the great summit. There, in the apex, set I the crystal, setting the ray into time-space, drawing the force from out of the ether, concentrating upon the gateway to Amenti. Other chambers I built and left vacant to all seeming, yet hidden within them are the keys to Amenti. He who in courage would dare the dark realms, let him be purified first by long fasting. Lie in the sarcophagus of stone in my chamber, then reveal I to him the great mysteries. Soon shall he follow to where I shall meet him, even in the darkness of earth shall I meet him. I Thoth, Lord of wisdom, meet him and hold him, and dwell with him always. Builded I the great pyramid, patterned after the pyramid of earth force, burning eternally so that it too might remain through the ages. In it I builded my knowledge of magic and science, so that I might be here when I again return from Amenti. A, while I sleep in the halls of Amenti, my soul, roaming free, will incarnate, dwell among men in this form or another. Emissary on earth am I of the dweller, fulfilling his command, so many might be lifted. Now return I to the halls of Amenti, leaving behind me some of my wisdom. Preserve you and keep you the command of the dweller. Lift ever upwards your eyes toward the light. Surely in time you are one with the Master. Surely by right you are one with the Master. Surely by right you are one with the All. Now I depart from ye. Know my commandments, keep them and be them, and I will be with you, helping and guiding you into the light. Now before me opens the portal. Go I down in the darkness of night. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Arc Must Be Logic, for the $50 super chat. I appreciate that, my good brother. Um, so we are reading from the Emerald Tablets of Thoth the Atlantean, which is rooted in Hermeticism, which is rooted in the Kabbalion. So essentially, it deals with the laws of the universe, and it starts with the first law, which is the law of mentalism. So this is just an overview of the first tablet. So you said let's chop it up when you're done. Sure. Okay, I'll do one more since I didn't know this many people were gonna be here. Okay, sure, sure, sure. Um, all right, so let's do the second one. That was the first one. We'll do one more. The second tablet is called the Halls of Amenti. So you see, we are traveling. We are traveling in the astral realm. In this realm, we have access to everything we have access to in the physical, as well as much more. So deep in the earth's heart lie the halls of Amenti, far neath the islands of sunken Atlantis. Halls of the dead and halls of the living bathe in the fire of the infinite all. Far in a past time, lost in the space time, the children of light look down on the world, seeing the children of men in their bondage, bound by the force that came from beyond. Knew they that only by freedom from bondage could man ever rise from the earth to the sun. Down they descended and created bodies, taking the semblance of men as their own. The masters of everything said after their forming, we are they who were formed from the space dust, partaking of life from the infinite all, living in the world as children of men, like and yet unlike the children of men. Then, for a dwelling place, far beneath the earth crust, blasted great spaces they by their power, spaces apart from the children of men, surrounded them by forces and power, shielded from harm they the halls of the dead. Side by side then, placed they other spaces, filled them with life and with light from above. Builded they then the halls of Amenti, that they might dwell eternally there, living with life to eternity's end. 30 were they of the children, sons of light, who had come among men, seeking to free from the bondage of darkness those who were bound by the force from beyond. Deep in the halls of life grew a flower, flaming, expanding, driving backward the night. Placed I in the center, a ray of great potence, life-giving, light-giving, filling with power all who came near it. Placed they around it thrones 32, places for each of the children of light, placed so that they were bathed in the radiance, filled with the life from the eternal light. There, time after time, placed they their first created bodies so that they might be filled with the spirit of life. 100 years out of each 1,000 must the life-giving light flame forth on their bodies, quickening, awakening the spirit of life. There, in the circle from eon to aeon, sit the great masters, living a life not known among men. There, in the halls of life, they lie sleeping. Free flows their soul through the bodies of men. Time after time, while their bodies lie sleeping, incarnate they in the bodies of men, teaching and guiding onward and upward out of the darkness into the light. There, in the hall of life, filled with their wisdom, known not to the races of man, living forever neath the cold fire of life, sit the children of light. Times there are when they awaken, come from the depths to be lights among men, infinite they among finite men. He who by progress has grown from the darkness, lifted himself from the night into light, free is he made of the halls of Amenti, free of the flower of light and of life. Guided he then by wisdom and knowledge, passes from men to the master of life. There he may dwell as one with the masters, free from the bonds of the darkness of night. Seated with the flower of radiance sit 7 lords from the space-times above us, helping and guiding through infinite wisdom the pathway through time of the children of men. Mighty and strange they, veiled with their power, silent, all-knowing, drawing the life force, different yet one with the children of men, different and yet one with the children of light. Custodians and watchers of the force of man's bondage, ready to loose when the light has been reached. First and most mighty sits the veiled presence, Lord of lords, the infinite nine, over the other from each, the lords of the cycles. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, each with his mission, each with his powers, guiding, directing the destiny of man. There sit they, mighty and potent, free of all space and time, not of this world, yet akin to it, elder brothers they of the children of men, judging and weighing, they with their wisdom, watching the progress of light among men. There before them was I led by the dweller, watched him blend with one from above. Then from he came forth a voice, saying, Great art thou, Thoth, among children of men, free henceforth of the halls of Amenti, master of life among children of men. Taste not of death, except as you will it. Drink of life to eternity's end. Henceforth, forever is life thine for the taking. Henceforth is death at the call of thy hand. Dwell here or leave here when thou desires. Free is Amenti to the Son of Man. Take thou up life in what form you desire, child of the light that has grown among men. Choose thy work, for all must labor, never be free from the pathway of light. One step you have gained on the long pathway upward. Infinite now is the mountain of light. Each step you take but heightens the mountain. All of your progress but lengthens the goal. Approach you ever the infinite wisdom, ever before you recedes the goal. Free are you made now of the halls of Amenti to walk hand in hand with the lords of the world, one in one purpose, working together, bring of light to the children of men. Then from his throne came one of the masters, taking my hand and leading me onward through all the halls of the hidden deep land. Led he me through the halls of Amenti, showing the mysteries that are known not to man. Through the dark passage, downward he led me. Into the hall were sights the dark death. Vast as space lay the great hall before me, walled by darkness yet filled with light. Before me arose a great throne of darkness. Veiled on it sat a figure of night. Darker than darkness sat the great figure, dark with the darkness not of the night. Before it then paused the master speaking, the word that brings about life, saying, O master of darkness, guide of the way from life unto life, before thee I bring a son of the morning. Touch him not ever with the power of night. Call not his flame to the darkness of night. Know him and see him, one of our brothers, lifted from darkness into the light. Release you his flame from his bondage. Free let it flame through the darkness of night. Raised in the hand of the figure, forth came a flame that grew clear and bright. Rolled back swiftly the curtain of darkness, unveiled the hall from the darkness of night. Then grew in the great space before me, flame after flame, from the veil of the night. Uncounted millions leaped they before me, some flaming forth as flowers of fire. Others there were that shed a dim radiance, flowing but faintly from out of the night. Some there were that faded swiftly, others that grew from a small spark of light, each surrounded by its dim veil of darkness, yet flaming with a light that could never be quenched. Coming and going like fireflies in springtime, filled they with space, with light, and with life. Then spoke a voice, mighty and solemn, saying, These are lights that are souls among men, growing and fading, existing forever, changing yet living. through death into life. When they have bloomed into flower, reach the zenith of growth in their life swiftly, then send I my veil of darkness, shrouding and changing to new forms of life, steadily upward throughout the ages, growing, expanding into yet another flame, lighting the darkness with yet greater power, quenched, yet unquenched by the veil of the night. So grows the soul of man ever upward, quenched, yet unquenched by the darkness of night. I, death come, yet I remain not, for life eternal exists in the all. Only an obstacle, I am the pathway, quick to be conquered by the infinite light. Awaken, O flame that burns ever inward, flame forth and conquer the veil of the night. Then, in the midst of the flames, in the darkness, grew there one that drove forth the night, flaming, expanding, ever brighter until, at last, was nothing but light. Then spoke my guide, the voice of the master. See your own soul as it grows in the light, free now forever from the Lord of the night. Forward he led me then through many great spaces, filled with the mysteries of the children of light, mysteries that man may never yet know of until he too is a son of the light. Backward then he led me into the light of the hall of the light. Notes I then before the great masters, lords of all, from the cycles above. Spoke he then with words of great power, saying, Thou hast been made free of the halls of Amenti. Choose thou thy work among the children of men. Then spoke I, O great master, let me be a teacher of men, leading them onward and upward until they too are lights among men, freed from the veil of the night that surrounds them, flaming with light that shall shine among them. Spoke to me then the voice, Go as you will, so be it decreed. Master are ye of your destiny, free to take or reject at will. Take ye the power, take ye the wisdom, shine as a light among the children of men. Upward then led me the dweller, dwelt I again among children of men, teaching and showing some of my wisdom, son of the light, a fire among men. Now again I tread the path downward, seeking the light in the darkness of night. Hold ye and keep ye, preserve my record, guide shall it be to the children of men. What's going on? Yep, I do audiobooks. I'm going to drop down my other channel so you guys can go to both channels. So I'm actually on both channels right now. I'm on the Amin Ra channel and the Shakim Ra channel. But the audiobooks are mostly on the Amin Ra channel. So I do a lot of reading, I definitely appreciate you for supporting. So Ramadan is in 4 days, so we got to get ready for that. So I have a question from the audience. Was Thoth real? I get this question all the time. So Thoth is within all of us. So he is real, but he wasn't based on one particular man, but the wisdom that's within all of us. And so every one of us is a Thoth. Every one of us is a Hermes if we choose to be in our highest state. So as long as you are in that state, Thoth is real. But when you are not in that state, Thoth is no longer real. So hopefully that answers your question, David. Thank you for coming through to tonight's ASMR. Um, ASMR is interesting content. Peace all. Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, when you say within all of us, what do you mean by that? Well, Thoth is there's a part of our spirit that is strictly wisdom. Um, many of you may be familiar with the chakras. Now there's actually 14 chakras, not just seven. But the Guru chakra is one of the chakras that never incarnates into the world. So when you're reading the text, he talks about how he lived not like the children of men when they incarnate in a physical body, right? He is a body of light in a crystallized state, and therefore he ends time and space. So that state, that timeless state, is within you if you are still enough to access it. And therefore we have the practice of fasting. In fact, in the first tablet, he talked about the importance of fasting, right? Because in order to reach that state, you have to have a clean body, a clean mind, a clean aura, and fasting alleviates a lot of that. So hopefully that answers your question. So appreciate the questions. Uh, so yeah, we'll be doing more of this. You guys can actually request any book you guys want me to read, ASMR or audiobooks. Just go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Muslim, I did see your comment. So I would invite you up here, but I'm on the Amin Ra channel, so I don't know if I can end the stream on one channel and then go to the Amin Ra channel. But if you are interested, we can definitely do a show where people can come up and I will read different books and stuff like that. Um, I got another question. Yeah, it did. Thank you. Was thought the human, and then he became what he became. Well, first, if you read the tablets, he was originally a light being, like all of us were originally light beings, and over time, he took on different forms, and one of those forms was the form of a man. So yeah, he was a human, but he's also a being of many different forms. And we all have this capacity to incarnate in many different forms, in many different states of being. So he was a human, but also a god or a lord or a spirit or a sun, as you could say, a star that became a man. And man, it says in one of the tablets that man and woman are stars bound to bodies. So at death, one can go back to that state of eternal life as a son if you know the pathway to the north, which I talk about quite often. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. Thank you for the great questions, David. Um yeah, so I'm streaming on both channels. So what I'm gonna do for you, Muslim, I see that you did want to have a discussion. So what I'm gonna do is the next time I do a show, I will only stream it on one channel because I don't know how to end the stream on my other channel. Like, I need to end it on that particular channel, and then we could keep going. So that's the only reason I haven't dropped the link yet. Um, does this tablet talk about what happens when you die? Yes, it does. It does. It actually, we kind of talked about that a little bit, how upon a human death transition, one will experience kind of like a blending of time and space. And so a lot of times when people have like near death experiences, they often see a bright light. They often see dead family members, um, angels, all kind of things. There was one particular example of a woman who died in the hospital. She had a cardiac arrest and she was dead for about 30 minutes. But while she was dead, she said she could still see different things. Like she could see the prayers that people were making on her behalf rising up to the sky. So she was fully aware that people were praying for her, even though she was technically dead at the time. So this book does elaborate on death and how death can be a positive thing, um, if we allow it to be. So that is why he talks about, I death come and yet I remain not, for life eternal exists in the all. And Muslim, I think Muslim might understand that from the perspective of Islam. They talk about Jannah, right, which is paradise, eternal paradise. It's the same concept. And actually, the Emerald Tablet, one of the oldest versions of it, is in Arabic. So it was preserved in many different languages, Arabic, Latin, and Greek. Originally, it's believed to have been written in the ancient Egyptian language and later was translated after the language died out and Egypt became conquered by, the Greeks and then the Romans and then the Arabs. So, um, yeah, thank you for your great questions. I definitely appreciate that. We will talk about death some more the next time I do a show. But yeah, I'm still streaming on two channels, so I'm gonna have to end this stream on this channel, but I will come back and do another stream just for the people on my other channel. So thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.